Hello everyone, it's Ren here. Welcome to my room, guys. I hope you're well today. Now, Humphrey is on this side, not on the other side. And look, my face ever so slightly is getting fuller. I know some of you guys were worried that I was getting skinny. But now that I'm home and my mum is, she's pampering me with those rich meals and I'm starting to enjoy life again, I'm slowly progressing my way to being fattened up. Now, let's talk today about a little anime/manga recommendation I have for you. And, there might be some of you who are not so much into anime or into manga or into that kind of stuff, but I think that you would enjoy it nonetheless, especially if you're an anime lead. So let's get started. Just remember that you can support me on Patreon. Link is below. Really supports the channel. Thank you so much to my supporters. Keeps the channel going. I have written a book on the INFJ personality, which you can get at the links below, less than $10. Check it out. And a new novel. Not so new anymore, The Infant Castle. If you're into that, Kafka, Dostoevsky, Camus. Rumor has it the main character is an INFJ, less than $10. Link below. All right. I'm interviewing this afternoon for a job. It's kind of like a first phone interview. So it's going to be a very preliminary discussion, but it's kind of cool, that to be able to kind of bounce back and still like be active and dynamic and not feel like, oh, I was in Paris and didn't work out and life is over. Not at all, not at all. Tough decisions can be really good decisions and they enhance self-esteem afterwards because you're just aware that you're able to make that decision. But that's beside the point. Pluto. Have you heard of the new show on Netflix? I mean, it's maybe not so new anymore. Maybe it's a few weeks or months old at this stage, but it's definitely a 2023 release on the platform. Now, certainly for those who don't have Netflix or who are anti-Netflix or, whatever your reason might be for not wanting to access or not being able to access Netflix, you can certainly access it on the internet via other services, Anime Pay, or I can never know how to pronounce it. My wife and I never know how to pronounce it, but we use that website. It's anime and then PAHE.com, I think. AnimePay.com. Anyway, you have access, like they have everything there, so but it's on Netflix, so if you want to Netflix and chill on your sofa or whatever, you can do that. Now, Pluto is an 8-episode show, and each episode is an hour long. So it goes really, it's not like one of those typical shonen anime or something like that, or even shoujo anime, or even seinen anime, where you have 10 or 12 or 24 sometimes episodes, 20 minutes. You consume them, you move on, or you move on to the second season. With Pluto, it's like each episode is serious commitment. It's nearly like a movie length, episode. It's an hour long, and it's really interesting. Like the fundamental premise is really interesting. So it's taking place slightly in the future, basically in an age where artificial intelligence and the robots building construction is really, really advanced in such a way that, robots are part and parcel of society. Artificial intelligences are, and there's even some advanced ones that, people would not even notice, like wouldn't recognize someone to be a robot unless the robot themselves were to say it, or that they were to see them in action, see that they have some extra apps and powers and appliances that they can use to solve cases or perform specific tasks. There's the question of robots, international robot laws, human rights. You have human rights, there's robot rights. So the question of whether a robot can adopt, there's whether robots can have families. Basically, it's exploring the whole question of the relationship between advanced artificial intelligence and humanity. Are robots human? Are they a different species? Is their destiny to become, essentially the holders of the same rights as human beings? Are they going to be the, victims of discrimination? Are they going to be seen as equals? Are they going to be used by humans, seen as slaves, maybe superficially as friends and collaborators, but ultimately as slaves because they can be programmed into being weapons of mass destruction? Essentially, like the world was ravaged by a war, all right? And it was involving the Kingdom of Persia and the United States of Thracia. So there's also a lot of references to real world events where like weapons of mass destructions are expected to have been found in a particular country, and war ensues. Turns out there were no weapons of mass destruction, so maybe that rings a bell. And robots took part in the war as weapons of mass destruction, but robots have feelings. I mean, the whole deep question in the show is, to what extent are robots capable of having emotions, AI capable of experiencing deep emotions? What would be the consequences? What happens when there's a combination of the ability to feel and also the ability to be extremely advanced in intelligence, far more than any human could ever be, and have, you know, memories that you never forget unless they are erased by human beings, and so on and so forth. And so you have this whole environment, and the context of the show is it starts with like this main character, you can call it the main character, his name is Gesicht, who is working for Europol, and he's investigating. He himself, it's explains relatively soon, he is a robot himself, but he's, you know, very advanced, and he's a trusted Europol agent. He's investigating what's starting to look like assassinations of robots and human beings. So like the most advanced robots in the world also could be potentially turned into weapons of mass destruction. Like they are being murdered in specific ways, with like they're left with horns, and also like particular professors involved in the defense of robot rights, involved in certain fact-finding missions relating to potential abuses made by humans making the use of robots as weapons of mass destruction. So there's like this context of like, you know, mystery and investigating what might be going on, who is killing these robots, knowing also that robots are supposed to be pre-programmed not to be able to hurt humans, and so on. There's a lot of mystery and investigation going on, lots of different departments, different countries interacting, the background of this world war that happens in the past, the trauma of it, both on the human side, on the robot side, the question of advanced intelligence. And it takes its time. Apparently some people think that it goes too slowly. They're expecting, you know, that the author of the show is funny, because he said to those people who complain that it's not going fast enough, or that there's not enough, you know, boom, 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 if you like, he says that you should, you know, just watch Attack on Titan. I don't know, he didn't say that in a disparaging way about Attack on Titan, but he's kind of saying it's not that kind of show. There is action, and there is suspense, and there is all of that, but it's also really taking its time to unfold its theme and go into a lot of depth of character exploration, development, depiction, analysis. And it's a fundamentally NI show. It has the relationship to time that NI has the depth that NI has, it has the symbology that NI is adept at, and the way it unfolds, it's you know, it reminds me, and it's, you know, it reminded my wife and I of Monster, the show Monster, if you guys have seen it, Masterpiece. And surprise, surprise, you know, it's the same author, same guy wrote the manga of Monster and Pluto. So you get the sense that there's a complicated, interweaved or interwoven web of events and characters and historical kind of facts just unfolding into something inevitably going to happen, and is going to alter out to be this big vision. Happens in Monster, and you can sort of sense that happening in Pluto as well. So you're heading somewhere, but it's taking its time. It's very layered, it's very dense, it's very intelligent and emotional. It explores deeply those questions: what it means to be human, what it means to be a robot, hurt, you know, like war trauma, themes of revenge, identity, and love, and many more. And it's fantastic. It's fantastic. So for those who have not seen it, I really recommend you do watch it. And it starts really strong as well. It's not like, if you like, it's not a show that's really good, but it takes its time. As in, yeah, it takes its time as a whole. The pace is not extremely fast, but the first episode is already, if you don't enjoy the first episode, I don't know what you are, but you are not an INFJ or an INTJ. I'm only messing, but again, that's my recommendation, so consider it. Pluto, Pluto. Check it out. That was my advice. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, guys, and I'll see you at the weekend. Take care. Well, I mean, I might see you in a short, but until then, take care.